this is ioEther, and we're back with some more World Tanks. There we go. Just wanted to write something down before I forgot. So, of course, this is me playing, and this is just going to be a game in my Crusader SP that I'm going to run in the background while I talk about some stuff that I've been meaning to talk about for a long time. So, a while ago, I put out a channel update and asked for your input in order to do a Q&A session, basically.
Let's go.
Now, I'm 90% certain that I'm going to call it Ether Space, because I like the way that flows off my tongue. I also like the feeling of, I mean, space is obviously sci-fi-ish, and Ether can pertain, wow, I can talk today. Ether can pertain to space, and therefore it sounds sci-fi-ish to me. It may not to you. I don't really care. If you come up with a better name, then by all means, please tell me. I would love to have a better name, but that's the best that I can come up with, and I've kind of fallen in love with this a little bit, or a lot, quite possibly a lot. So it's going to have to be a really better name if I'm going to change this. There has been a few names suggested by the community. 2 names, in fact. I had one guy, I'm sorry, I can't remember who suggested this, starting fluid with Ether. That was hilarious. I love the idea of, because there's so much stuff I could do with starting fluid with Ether, right? Because then all of you could be my flamers, and then we could go around starting flame wars. And then I started thinking about that and realized, nope, I can't do that. That would be very bad. So that name got kind of scrapped, but I still like it. Love it, if only it wasn't quite so bad. What was the other one? It was meters with ethers, which always makes me want to say meters with ethers, which makes it sound like there's more than one of me, which would be horrible, right? Because I mean, one of me is way too much, and I'm never gonna hit that T29 with. Ooh, let's see, stops right there. Yes, please do, sir. Thank you. So, well, that's awkward. But anyways, so another great name that just makes me laugh, and I really did want to do it, but it didn't quite hit the right chords, and it's gonna make me tongue-tied. I guarantee. If I have to say meters with ether, I'm gonna end up saying meters with ethers half the time, and that's gonna irritate me. So unfortunately, I decided against that one. So now we're gonna kind of get into the origins of my name for a little bit. So I don't remember if I have told you folks where I got my name from. Ether isn't a name I pulled out of thin air. That was kind of cool like that. To me, Ether has always talked about the word ether. Sorry, it has always been about space and sci-fi and stuff like that. Whenever I hear the word ether in my head, the first place my mind goes to is sci-fi, as you know, space between space and stuff like that. So that's all in my head, and so when I was trying to find a name for myself, probably 6 years ago, playing Halo, back the PC version of Halo, yes, it was still around, yes, I was trying to play it, and when I was first trying to find a name for myself, kept thinking of ether and space, and so I eventually just picked it. Now it works out really well because my full name is Jesse Etherton, and Etherton, if you just drop off the TON on the end of that, works out to pretty much ether. Yes, it's more ether, but I don't really care. I can change the pronunciation of that whenever I decide to. So that was something that really resounded with me. And so, of course, next question is, of course, well, once I've decided to name myself Ether, which is a name I've kept for about 6 years now, exclusively, the IO. Now, some of you will probably clue into the fact that this is, of course, a reference to a clan, and it's back from the Halo days. Again, Halo, right? Halo's where my roots are in gaming, or at least my multiplayer online clan experiences all come from Halo. I've been with IO for 4.5 years or so now, so they kind of become a family to me, and thus everywhere I go, as far as I'm concerned, I'm ioEther online. This is how it's going to be from now till probably forever, until I stop gaming. These folks that are friends that I made, back in the Halo days, 6-7 years ago, I'm still gaming with them, most of them, now, and some of them have even switched over to World Tanks, like, say, Ronick, or Ash, or Seth. These are all good friends from back in the Halo days. It kind of, I guess I should actually answer a question that you folks have actually asked me. So, can't remember. I'm so sorry that I don't remember who asked me this. I should have looked it up and put a notation right here. So there will totally be a notation right here with who asked this question. Sure. I hope that actually happens. What got me into World Tanks? Well, what got me into World Tanks? That's actually a good friend of mine who I've always known as New York, and you may know him as Priority Aces. He harassed me to no end for about, I'd probably say it was probably like 6 months of him harassing me, and it wasn't like a, you should do this game, and then not mentioning it again for a while. It was like, every time I came into TS, he seemed to be in this game, and he was like, hey, just download and join, it's free, and I'm like, I got other stuff to do, and I got other stuff to do, and then I got fired. And then suddenly I didn't have anything else to do. So I downloaded this game. And I started playing, and I got hooked. From there, I of course joined the IO Tank Clan. Was in there for probably about 6 months before I and a bunch of us left the IO Tank Clan. Now, my loyalty as far as gaming in general goes still lies with IO, but IO has never really been all that active in World Tanks. There's obviously been a few of us, like say Ronick, who are really good and really active in tanks, and so I play with those guys, and I would play with those guys whenever I could. But this is like 5 guys who I could play with whenever they were around, versus joining potentially 30 guys who are going to be around all the time and could teach me so many things. And so, and of course, the possibility of clan wars got introduced when I joined this new clan. And so I did. I left, and actually a bunch of us left the IO Tank Clan, because the IO Tank Clan was like 5 or 10 people. Though our numbers say we're a little bit more, we don't have that many active members. Or we didn't at the time. And so we left for about 6 months, had this amazing adventure, had so much fun. I learned so many things that I'm now putting to use back at IO, because of course I don't know if you've ever jumped into a freshly formed community like a clan or something that skyrocketed to a fairly decent standing in the tanks community. We were winning when we were doing tank company battles in Saints. I almost forgot the name. We were winning probably 80% of our games, except for when we ran up against G or somebody like that who was either gold spamming or just playing better than we were. We were winning most of our games, and so it was this glorious and skyrocketing a rise to power that was just so much fun. That of course ended really, really fast when our glorious leader, I don't know if the stress got to him or just, I don't know what happened, but he started failing as a leader, and because of that, it really took its toll on the entire clan, and the entire clan really fell apart fairly fast. There was this almost, it was a couple of pieces fell off as people started to go against what was the new formation of the clan, and then it just kind of exploded. So after it exploded in this giant fireball of drama, I left. I kind of left in the middle of the giant fireball of drama, and I went back to the clan that I knew was going to be Drama 3, and that's IO. And that is kind of the clan, one of the clan mottos is that we're always drama free. If you create drama in this clan, you tend to leave very fast. But so yeah, that's kind of the origins of my name and how I got into World Tanks, and my story up until most of my story up until today. I get into the YouTube stuff, but I get the feeling I'm not going to answer any of the questions I actually plan on asking if I do that. So I've gone on for 2 videos or 2 games so far about. I think I've done 2 questions in 2 games. Yay! A question per game. Let's beat that. I'm totally on track to do that right now. So a little bit more about me, because some of you may not realize I'm not American. I don't know how many of you know that. I'm Canadian. Yes, I don't say A, and I don't have an accent. Meh. I purposely took A out of my vocabulary a very long time ago, for reasons I don't really remember, except for the fact that I remember not liking the word. So I just decided to stop using it altogether, and I haven't since. If you catch me saying that word, I will owe you $5. It is unlikely to happen. Because, of course, I'm Canadian, I currently reside in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's a beautiful little city. Little, it's probably the wrong word. But anyways. Trying to remember what questions. I have them all written down, but I just got to remember what order I wanted to answer them in. So, of course, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my favorite tanks. Now, on screen is currently one of my hated and loved tanks of all time. I'm fairly certain I got Stockholm Syndrome with this tank. I'm fairly certain that evil forces came down and warped my mind to enjoy playing this thing. Because I'm not certain I would call enjoyment what I did for 9% of the time that I played this tank. No, actually, I know I hated this tank 9% of the time that I played, because it is so not like my style of tanks, which is fast, small. I don't care if they have armor or not. I just need them to be fast, be smaller in size, something I can hide in a bush, and then fire from that bush without revealing myself. Skip tanks, basically. But I also enjoy medium tanks with decent gun depression, so that I can take advantage of hills and terrain and such to just, I don't want to say murder, because that's not always what I do, but I do take advantage of terrain and stuff to make people die faster. That's better. So this tank has none of that stuff except for the speed. It is fast-ish, kinda. If you ignore the fact that it's not so fast most of the time. It's fast. Ooh, nice shot. So now, ignoring the fact that it's big and huge, it's got a good gun. But that's about the only thing I really enjoyed about this tank. I ended up liking it, kinda. I'm gonna say against Stockholm Syndrome or something warped my mind to enjoy it. But that's of course mostly because of the fact that it's got a decent gun and it's got some speed, and I learned to use those as just they were, as nothing else except a fast machine. And I've gotten off topic again. My bad. What was I talking about? Does it matter? I'm gonna go with no. So I've talked a lot about Halo and how I got into, and that I don't remember if I said in this recording or another one that Halo was kind of my entrance to the multiplayer clan-like experience. Before Halo, I didn't know what it was like to be in a clan. I knew what it was like to be on a team, but that's about it. And since Halo, I've definitely truly enjoying knowing what it's like to be part of a team. It's a lot of fun. That sounds like it didn't. Oh, right. That was supposed to lead me into talking about my favorite games. Yeah, I know, right? So of course, Halo, Combat Evolved on the PC. That one and that one alone. Don't give me any of your Halo 2 crap. Halo 1 is all the way, and yes, I still have it installed. And yes, I still can play occasionally. If you want to join me, and you have it installed, and, you know, can figure out how to get on, then look up the io Scorp Wars server any Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's likely to be where you'll find me. This looks like a bad situation for me. Who bets I'm gonna die? Who bets I kill the 701 first? 704. That was bad. I was supposed to hit that shot. I wasn't supposed to die. We're gonna pause this over my fiery hulk of a death, as I feel like this is an appropriate time to end this whole thing. Before I continue to ramble on uselessly for another 20 minutes or whatever. So I don't know if I've answered any questions. I don't know if I have accomplished my goals with this thing. All I know is I could actually keep talking about these subjects for quite a bit longer, but I won't, because I assume you're all bored. If you're not bored, if you want me to make these kind of episodes more often and longer, tell me in the comments below. If I've made them the right length, tell me in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and start assuming things, and none of us wants that, really. Now, one last note. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button. It really, really, really does help me out. A lot more than you might think. It's one of the few easy ways that you guys have to communicate directly with me. If you want to tell me you liked it, just hit the little thumbs up. That's all I ask. If you don't like it, then hit that one. That would help me just as much. I think I'm actually out of things to talk about for the foreseeable future. So, thank you very much for watching. Links to my Facebook, Duckster, Twitter, and my Patreon account are all in the description below. Please feel free to poke me, friend me, add me, whatever. Thank you very much. Have a great day. This is ioEther. Hey folks, this is ioEther, and we're back with some more World Tanks. Side scraping. How to counter a player who's side scraping. So the E100 is trying to side scrape. And you can see. Let's see where we go. Ooh, Ronick is actually firing at the engine deck of the enemy tank. And, well, that makes sense.
because Ronek's gun is actually higher up than the enemy tank's engine deck, so he can aim down. And if he concentrates right, and if he, T-57. Really? How did you miss that shot on the T-57? Really? That was like a free shot. So the enemy Elon Hunter is getting really pissed that Ronek can somehow penetrate him without being, without exposing enough of his tank so that so this guy can kill Ronek. So Ronek's, again, gonna shoot for the engine deck.